GSL Code S. Already a little bit of an upset today. We did have Curious taking out Beal 2-1. Curious, of course, a very good Zerg. Can he stand up against the best Protoss in the world, Hero? That is a tall order.
Wouldn't that be an interesting twist, though, if Curious managed to beat Hero here?
You know,
we would have to completely reevaluate Curious as a player.
Maybe, man. I'm not thinking it's going to happen. I think Hero's PVC is just, like, broken level good right now. He's just so damn good at killing Zergs. He was before the patch, he is after the patch. It's like the guy is just so good at it. So I'm finding it difficult for Curious, but like I was saying before, maybe he can like play a nice defensive style, maybe, you know, get into that later tech, have Hero waste enough units. I'm not sure. It's hard, though.
I don't see Curious rushing and beating Hero. I just don't see that happening.
Pretty much not. Like,
funny thing is, I normally don't say that in any matchup. I say, well, you know, he could do something a little bit wild. I just think Curious that's going to bounce right off of him.
Yeah, I think Hero is like he's so tough to kill, man. And I think he'll probably choose his build orders pretty wisely here. Like a lot of gateway at ramp expands, something like that. Maybe Forge even.
Seems like Hero's somebody who, you know, strategically and builder-wise is just not going to miss a beat. And somebody who doesn't miss a single beat normally has perfect scouting.
We will see what these guys choose to go for. Overgrowth, Iron Fortress, Bonnie Research Station. I mean, it's doable. Iron Fortress is definitely a very tough map for Protoss, but I mean, if there's one Protoss that can win on any map, it's probably Hero.
Well, that map is now loading up. Remember, the winner of this match goes on to face off against, it's Rogue, right?
Yes, the winner here
faces off against Rogue, and that is a much more desirable opponent than Party.
Yes, I would agree with that.
In the upper right, in the red, he is
SBENU Curious.
And in the bottom left, in the blue, he is
CJN2's Hero.
Already kind of showing us a window into his mind. It looks like he'll probably go gateway at ramp expand. It's like as greedy as you can get with being completely safe as well. It is. Yeah.
That's a way to put it.
It's a way.
That's one way to describe it.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'll live through everything.
But
this is still a very quick Nexus
expansion build. Yep.
Yeah.
Special thanks to our sponsors, making this season possible.
That's true. Even gonna go with Scout with it. All right, cool. We'll see what Curious has planned here. Wonder if he's gonna have any crazy builds like a gold base. I'd love it. Welcome.
Great to get a shot at you guys again. You guys are still enjoying the games. And so we have the hatch first here.
Yeah. You know, I think this could be a doable series for Curious. The more I'm thinking about it, like Vonnie, gold-based builds are very popular.
Hey, and gold-based builds have been doing very well.
Yeah.
Against, you know, pretty much all Protosses. Now, important to note here is that Curious completely does not bite the bait.
Yeah.
Some players freak out and think this is a cannon rush. Curious is like, no.
Yeah. Hero doesn't cannon.
Hurry up and cancel your pylon.
Or let it finish. Who cares? Well.
So we have the Nexus starting now, along with the Simulator. So these are pretty greedy builds for both players.
Yeah. Definitely the case. Only one gas for Hero?
No, it's 2 gases.
Oh, okay, there it is. I was like, wait a second. Hero actually has a slightly different gas times than the Protoss. It's just a random fact no one cares about.
I care, Artosis.
You care? Oh, that's great. Why?
Well, it's only because I care about your feelings, Artosis.
Thank you. And I have feelings about his gas timings.
Yeah, very strong ones, actually. He's kind of crazy about that. So, in in this game, we're going to see, how does Curious choose to tech? It is still a game where, excuse me, I meant actually Hero. Curious is going to be droning up for a little while now. He did a greedy build. He's going to get away with all that greed.
Yeah, totally.
Not much that Hero can really do to punish it.
No, not really. I'm a little bit interested to see exactly where Curious wants to go with this. Like, sometimes we see people try to go right into Hydra Ling. Sometimes people like to go +1 Ling. Sometimes Roaches. There's a big variety to what Zerg can do, but obviously not as big as the variety of what Protoss can do here. A lot of options open for Hero. Likely Blink going to be involved in that.
As you can see now, the Stalker's going to try to drive back a few Lings. We have Warp Gate coming. There's a lot of different things Hero could do.
Yeah.
We see 2 more gates, and let's see if we have a third or a fourth make with this.
This is like perfect, I would say, what he's doing, because his probe was in there forever, and he saw no gases. If you don't have speed, a 3 Warp Gate Stalker is ridiculous. MC taught us that in like 2012. Like, seriously.
Now he's going to be able to get over here and see those 3 gates making, and finally that Ling goes down. But a Forge comes next. The question is, will he make a proxy pylon? The Forge, you're going to get one no matter what, because if you don't get a Forge, you're not going to get in the late game in this game. But it doesn't mean you can't be aggressive when you're doing something like this. And I believe we have a pylon being made now where the gold base would be here for Curious.
Yeah, and I think it's undeniable. He's definitely going to get some damage done with this. 5 Stalkers. Like, how long can you micro with 5 Stalkers against Zerglings?
With no speed, I would say a long time.
Really, like, kill so many of them.
You would almost have to get a spine crawler or something, but then again, you're already spending so much money. I like how he takes out that creep tumor right away, hitting this queen. Now watch, right as Lings get close, he just turns around. Oh wow, miscontrol there.
Oh, just barely doesn't get a surround on those. Oh, wow.
He dunked that Stalker in butter, man. He slipped right through. So the problem is now the Stalkers keep regenerating shields, and if you're really good at microing, you can keep running away for a long time. And that means the shields keep coming back. You can, if you want, keep making Stalkers, or you can take a third base like we see Hero already doing here. I do like the one Zealot here. In fact, you usually want to micro that back too, just like it's a Stalker to try to get as much damage out as possible.
Look at how many Lings he's actually forcing here. And it looks like he's actually turning around saying, okay, that's enough. But this was enough. He killed so many Lings.
This is perfect Protoss play in a nutshell.
Yeah.
He made him make a bunch of Lings. That means less drones. Then he just runs out. Right when he says that he can't win this, he doesn't have to commit. He doesn't have to even do anything like run behind the mineral patch at the third and hold position there with the Stalkers and try to just get as much damage out as possible. He just goes back home.
Yeah. And, he is building a nice wall over at his third with a cannon in there. Because this is a lot of Lings, so he might actually be able to do something like get a cancel on that third base. A lot of Roaches being created as well. Curious may be deciding, well, I know he's deciding to be very aggressive here. Okay, look at that. He's going to maybe get this, possibly.
Yeah, he'll definitely get this.
It was a good Zealot warp in, though, too. One more Lings actually coming in.
You know what? Well, he would need to get some oh my god, he didn't get it. Okay.
No, not quite.
I thought even with the Lings coming there from the top, he would probably slow him down enough or at least get some sentries, but yeah, I suppose Protoss could get down there, and if it really got down to it, make some force fields around the Nexus, but hold on, the second attack is coming over here. Is this clogged up? It is, plus a force field, so he might be able to try to box in that army over there. Gets through.
Oh, yeah, that's a big mistake.
It's okay, there's a second sentry. Oh, but he's going to kill that sentry.
Uh-oh. That's actually a pretty big deal. Definitely unpowering some of these buildings as well. A lot of Lings coming through, trying to surround everything right now. Hero could be in a bit of trouble, trying to move back at the moment.
This is doing a lot of damage.
Yeah,
actually have probes defending over here, and there's not all these warp gates are powered, so I think actually Curious might just win this.
Yeah, he's already dealt enough damage. 13 probes. Curious is doing fantastically with this
Curious
attack.
is definitely picking his battles wisely. This is definitely the way to do it. In fact, if he could just get up, that's it, GG.
Wow.
Guys, what the hell? Curious is one game away from getting out of this group, even if he loses. That's fine.
How crazy
He goes on to the last match.
And then Curious is up against Rogue, who's a doable opponent for him, absolutely. Well, I mean, after tonight, you got to consider maybe anyone's a doable opponent for him, but, like, like this could be like a real round of 4 for Curious.
Look at Hero. He's very caught off guard by how that game went. I mean, he lost that. That was in the course of like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
He just lost a bunch of fights, and you can see saying, okay.
Everything
He's
kind
good.
of went wrong there right at the end for him.
Yeah.
Like,
I got to be careful with my positioning. I should win in the late game. And that was also important to note because he won a nice fight, Hero did, by setting those stalkers out, but it didn't mean he was ready for a full-on counterattack. When Curious took out that pylon, that means no more sentries warped in.
Yeah.
Or even just one more sentry warping in. Just warping in one sentry is
really
not
big
enough.
deal.
So,
you know, the funny thing is he only made like 1 or 2 tiny missteps, and Curious was just like, nope, the units are here, you're dead now.
And what's funny is when I saw those lings run out, I thought, okay, I guess Hero does win this.
Yeah.
Everything's going his way, but this guy knows how to engage. Anyways, we're going on to game number 2. And don't forget, map number 3 was Bonnie Research Station. That's definitely a map that Curious could win. So that win already right there might give him the opportunity, even if he loses here, to go on to that 3rd map and possibly win with a strong build there.
This is a good chance as well. This map can be tough for Protoss. That 3rd base is pretty far away. So we'll see. Hero's going to have to give it his absolute utmost. What will Curious do? Greedy, cheese, or something in between? We'll see on the
I don't know, man.
On the next game.
I don't know, Tosis. I don't know. Could Curious win this? We're going to find out here as he's already up 1-0. One of the bigger upsets today. Curious, at least confident in his interviews right now. I mean, man, anything can happen. Anyways, let's go on to game number 2 here. Curious versus Hero. In the upper left, in the red, he is
SBENU Curious.
I like that mouse.
The Zowie Miko is one of the best mice that there is for StarCraft II.
In the bottom left, in the blue, he is
CJN2's Hero.
really interesting to see his reaction after that last game. That's one of those losses where you're sitting there going, oh my God, are you kidding me? That's the one where you're cursing at home at your computer in a game like that.
Yeah. Scouting rather quickly here. Gonna find Curious right off the bat.
Ooh.
And he was
about to make a gas.
Wow. Whoa. Hero definitely could have caught that he was thinking about taking a gas. It doesn't matter because he's here and he sees what's going on. But some interesting stuff.
How funny is that?
It's pretty funny because like he was the type of build he was choosing there is like, okay, if you mess up at all, I can kill you with this. But the way Hero was playing, he was probably, if he didn't scout him, they're going to throw a forge down and attempt a cannon rush, possibly.
Well, I think this is definitely, from here on out, going to be the most cautious play we'll see from Hero for probably a while.
Oh, yeah. If he gets out in the round of 16, at the level that he's playing at right now, like overall, over the past, like, month and a half or something, that would be a gigantic disappointment to him.
The thing you want most in a group stages of a GSL is just to be out first.
Yeah.
That is a lot less stress, a lot less builds you have to show to other players who might study the VODs. There's a lot you can get from just getting out of this first. Obviously, that's the tallest order you can have out of anything in group stage of GSL, but still.
It's even more so here, and I'm not talking poorly about Rogue at all. He's a fantastic Zerg and such a great competitor, but Parting awaits the second player of this group, and Parting, if someone were to tell me that they think Parting will win this season, I would not tell them that they were dumb. Not to their face nor behind their back, Tasis.
Wow, that's saying a lot, Artosis. I mean, Parting is definitely a top contender. I wouldn't mind having a Hero versus Parting round of 8, but at the same time, I would prefer to have that round of 4, you know?
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
It could only be round of 8 or
finals.
finals.
Round of 8, yep, you're right, because they'd be on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to see it in the round of 8 because they are like the best two Protosses, and the PvP would be really good, but it would just be a bunch of proxy gates. So it would be like very mind gamey and micro based, which is cool. But yeah. prefer watching those two in the other matchups, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
Whereas SOS, I'll watch him PvP all day long, man.
Well, that guy just never runs out of builds. He always manages to surprise me, even after years of casting him. I'm like, oh, are you serious? He's going to do this?
You know, I heard that actually a giant company, Lego, offered SOS millions of dollars just come build Lego sets for them.
I heard that was true.
Yeah, and he refused.
Yeah, he said that's not where my passion is, my hashtag passion.
He's like, that's not hard enough.
Yeah. He said, until you give me Lego cannons and shoot Lego hatcheries, I'm not interested.
It's like it's too easy to make tight walls with Legos.
And now that we've made this sarcastic joke, at least one of our many viewers is going to believe that, in fact, Lego was sponsoring or looking to sponsor SOS and then go argue about this on a forum.
It's true. They should do that.
Which will then be cited on.
Well,
set this up. So, Artosis, you've been playing Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
I think it's a great game, actually.
It's now. Everyone should go check it out.
It's out, yeah. Don't go play it just yet.
Just use StarCraft Heroes.
Yeah.
Test our.
That's what Taste and Artosis do.
Heroes.
Hashtag passion. Hashtag StarCraft. Hashtag Korea. Hashtag Rainer.
Hashtag something way too long without any spaces because that's funny.
Yeah, because people don't know how to use the hashtag. I also think it's funny that people don't know how to hashtag. Hashtag what's the deal with that?
Well, right now we do have Spores on the way. That was a good sacrifice to just make sure that there's an Oracle coming. But this is a very quick third base as well.
This is a little bit riskier than some other builds, and it may not pay off. As curious as Lings are already down here.
Well, he does have that Oracle coming out. Well, I guess he didn't know you could fly in this direction. So that's a little bit annoying what's going on. But he's not going to have to cancel the Nexus, and that's important. A lot of drones being created at the moment. And I do believe, Tasteless, we should be seeing a Twilight coming out. Oh, there it is. And
oh, okay. So we used to cast this build a lot last year.
Yeah, it's a very popular build right now as well. Kind of rotates in and out quite often, but it's been around for quite a while. Yeah, it's just like a, he gets a harass, he gets a scout, and he gets a tech up while expanding. It's pretty neat. So the question is, what does Curious do from here? And it looks like he wants to go Hydra Link.
Now, you got to be careful because there are some pretty strong attacks Protoss can do off of this. A lot of times, since you don't have a Robo facility, you're really depending on that Oracle to spot. But at the same time, you got to be careful too, not to take too much damage before this build really kicks in. Oh my God! And speak of the devil. Okay, the Oracle was picked off.
Hero's just slightly off in this series. Like, he was so on against Dream, but here are definitely some mistakes. Oh
my God! Of all the things that could happen, don't lose those.
That's a lot of force fields, and yeah, he loses 2 sentries, but between 2 sentries lost and that many force fields used against a dedicated Hydra Zergling attack, that's pretty scary because this is a wide open map, and that attack you're going to need a lot of force fields against.
Yes, Artosis, this is not the first time we've seen this in a GSL. When we interview players and one person's clearly the favorite, a lot of times we have one of the other players who's really overshadowed, saying, I just want to do my best, I just want to try to win today, and the other guy's like, I'm going to win no matter what, LOL. We see some of these guys that could, could gratify pretty well early on, fall apart, and this may be one of those games because we're going to have a lot more damage on these sentries as well as a few kills.
Yeah, was that 2 more sentries?
That was 2 more sentries, yes.
Oh boy, Tasteless. Look at the amount of gas he's having to spend on these sentries. You see extra Zealots warped in, which against Hydra Ling are not really that useful.
Watch these Hydras care about these sentries.
Well,
you're going to see them moving up to these sentries up here. That's not them moving, that's them shrugging their shoulders going, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, as they come forward. This is actually pretty scary because if he makes 1 or 2 more mistakes here, he will lose.
Hero still definitely has potential to hold on.
But you cannot afford to lose these bases. There's too much important stuff that you have to protect. Yeah. Okay, good force fields there, but he's still taking a little bit of damage over there at the front.
Yeah, definitely good force fields, though. But look at how many sentries he's lost, how many force fields he used in previous attacks, as well as right here.
36 Lings on the way.
Oh, man. He doesn't have that much left, Tasteless.
Okay, so he's going to get this pylon, which means no more gateway. Now, he has to wait for the next group of Lings. That's why you want to go Stalker Zealot here. You need something to sponge up the Ling damage.
And let's not forget, he does have Roach Tech behind this. Looks like he's getting ready to go up to Vipers as well. And as more and more sentries die, that's going to make Roach Tech switch very powerful here as well. Great force fields, though, going down.
You know what? It was just not enough. He force fields to box those in. There's no more Zealots at the end of that. And speaking of box in, so is the rest of Hero's army, taking a lot of damage. He goes in and backs up with the force fields finishing just in time to blink forward to do more damage to these Hydras.
Yeah, very nice to clean up some of these Hydras indeed, but he doesn't really have the numbers he needs right now, I think, Tasteless. Like, is he going to be able to break through here?
Well, let's see. He definitely did some damage. He definitely interrupted the fact, he interrupted all these sentries being out there. How many are left, actually? Let me check here on your PC. So there's 1 sentry left.
Yeah, that's rough. And he's bought so many this game.
And by the way, this build doesn't quite work without sentries. You can make it work. I mean, if anybody can do it, it's Hero. But if you don't, what makes this build strong is that you make walls around everything and then blink favorably. You make walls with the force fields and then pick your fights accordingly. Because Ling, Roach, Hydra will actually just kill Zealot, Stalker. Blink's not that good. They just blink back and then they die later on, as you can see here.
Especially as you reach like maxed out numbers, like Zerg is able to really power up their supply, and if you don't have, you know, those force fields to kind of abuse that giant Zerg army, the surface area they get is pretty insane with all those range units. But we do have charge on the way, +3 as well for Hero.
This is 161 supply to 149. Again, the unit comp, the real problem here. We have an Immortal coming. Not sure how helpful that's going to be. We see the Templar tech starting up here.
Yeah, definitely Psystorm going to be something he wants to get if possible. That can kind of take the place of those sentries at some point. But we have Vipers on the way. We have Curious. He's going to be getting pretty close to maxed here. Those charge lots, will they actually be enough to help him hold on?
I'm not sure if they will. This is so many Roaches. I mean...
Well, one thing we have to take into consideration as well, though, Tace, is Curious has never even tried to take a 4th base. He is sitting on 3 base, so like if this doesn't work, Hero definitely can win because he's been on 3 bases. It's not like his economy has been hurt; it's just his unit composition has been. hurt.
The thing I'm worried about is that this is such a strong army. Vipers are coming out, which means they can harpoon the Immortal, for instance.
Yeah.
I just feel like the sheer number of Roaches, it should overwhelm this, but let's see. I hope I'm wrong. I'd like for this game to go on a little bit longer. There are exactly 4 sentries in that army, so you could box yourself off maybe once or twice.
Yeah, and that's pretty good. He's using these High Templars for feedback as opposed to anything else. We'll pull back here. He's got to be very careful.
Wow, nice sniping. Actually gets 2 of those High Templars.
Indeed.
Blinding Cloud, pushing them back even further. Double hallucinated Immortal. We don't know if he saw which ones were which there.
All right, a pretty decent time warp, I guess, but his Zealot's being eaten up so quickly here.
And for the rest of these Roaches and Hydras coming down here, it's just Stalkers. I believe the reinforcements are going to be coming down now.
Ooh, a
so
lot
this
of
is
Hydras
actually,
left.
it's so much damage, it does not matter. 168 supply to 95, or now 89, should really tell us a story here. Note, by the way, when Curious expands, he's actually expanding close to his opponent as opposed to just expanding towards the upper right because... Okay. Well, probes have been pulled.
Well,
so he's pulled the bots. He's pulled the robots here.
Oh, he kills those flying scorpions with the straws, the green.
Can we talk about how the Vipers, when they die, look like just chicken, like wishbones or something, just being popped? Like, those things are just full of air.
Yeah.
All right, well, 190 to 127 with a weak Protoss composition. You tell me who wins. Probes in the army, not going to be helpful. Yeah. Archon's pretty good, but probably not good enough.
No, definitely not against Roach Hydra. And this is going to be Curious getting out in first place in this group. Don't think anyone really guessed that.
Guys, the world is a never-ending, interesting place. The stories of the GSL keep getting crazier and crazier. There's a chance Hero doesn't get out. I know that we would both bet that maybe he does, but I mean, I think we have to reevaluate everything now that we see Curious is going to move on out of this group. Wow, I got to say, really happy for Curious, a guy who said he was probably going to have to quit his pro gaming career if he couldn't get out today and go ahead and do his mandatory military service. Oh, how the tables have turned. Curious goes on to the round of 8.
That is huge. Congratulations to Curious. That is a big win in this group. First place over CJ here and CJ Biol. Two of the absolute best players in the world right now. So Curious going to be going up against Rogue in the round of 8, which is, you know, his ZVZ looked good tonight. Could we see Curious in round of 4? Could we see Curious in a finals?
Who knows? That would be such a... Oh, by the way, you can see here, Hero very upset. You know what I felt like we just saw? You know what Curious was? You know when Mario has jumped off enough turtle shells, he gets a 1-up?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we have with Curious here.
Wow.
And you can tell right now the tension here with Hero. One guy he might have to face is his own teammate. The other guy he might have to face, Dream, is somebody who he already beat. How many builds does he actually have prepared?
Yeah, and he could be tilting from that as well. So
certainly.
We'll see if
2-0 by
his
Curious.
best. Yeah, that was really well done by Curious. Good on him, man.
We are going to go to a quick little break. When we return, we're going to see which player... Oh, excuse me. I keep doing this. I keep forgetting we have an interview. We're going to go to an interview now with Curious, which I'm looking forward to. I want to see what his thoughts are now that he's the first to move on to this group. And then after the interview, we'll be going on to the losers match to see who will be the first to be eliminated. But obviously, Curious, Curry, Nerd, he made Nerd Curry out of Hero, is going on to the...
That's the worst save of all time. I love it.
I actually think that might have been one of the best, actually.
Yeah, but the reason why it was one of the best is because, like, it was just so nerdy. Nerd
It was.
Curry.
Okay. All right. I'll take that. Nerd Curry. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty spicy. So let's go ahead and see what his thoughts are now that he's managed to move on.
He's a plain Nan type of guy, you can tell.
시조의 1위 진출자 스베누 이원표 선수 만나보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
Advancing first in the group of death is Curious.
축하드립니다. 소감 어떠세요?
네,
Congratulations,
진짜로
Curious.
오늘,
How do you feel?
진짜 죽음의 조여서 올라갈 거라는
it was the group of death.
확신은
I
못하고
didn't expect
왔었는데
myself to
제가
advance
이렇게
to this
올라가게
group.
돼서 이제 제 시즌당 문균이 아나운서랑 인터뷰를 2번 이상 한 적이
very
없어요.
happy
맨날 일찍 떨어져서
to advance.
네.
It's my second time
8강 가가지고
actually doing an interview with you, Gary.
수 있게 돼서
So I'm very pleased to be doing an interview with you again.
네. 영장 효과제.
And I hope to be seeing you again in another winner's interview in the round of 8.
이원표 선수 그런데 오늘 굉장히 가벼워요. CJ 에이스 2분 잡으셨거든요. 프로토스와
So you defeated two
거기에
ace players on CJ.
요즘 분위기 좋은 선수들을 잡으셨는데 정말 자신감이 이렇게 느껴지지
They're usually the hardest players for Protoss players and Zerg players.
그래도 잘 하신 것 같은데요?
근데 제가
Tell us how you feel about that.
프로리그를 하다 보니까
네.
바꾸다 보니까 제가 보통 근데 제 개인 리그 한다고 그걸 빼줄 수는 없어서
네.
저도 좀 혼자서
Watching Pro League, my coach
네.
didn't make me prepare for Pro League.
하다 보니까
Instead, he said, "Look, just focus on GSL, focus on the individual league."
딱 하나씩
So
있었거든요.
that was all I was preparing
그게
for,
참
and I felt
오늘
it
잘
paid off.
들어맞았던 것 같아서 되게 좋아요.
네. 앞서
And I prepared two builds for each race, Protoss and Zerg.
위해서 꺼내든
That all worked out for me, and I was able to advance.
보여주는 것 같아요. 1세트에서 이원표 선수 장기전 운영형 좋아하시는데 오늘 굉장히 일찍 들어갔죠? 그 경기부터 그렇게 생각을 하신 거예요?
제가 원래 그런 이미지가 많이 있어가지고
네.
그 이미지를
Everybody
이용했을
usually
때
thinks of me as a
오늘
macro
올라갈 수
Zerg.
있을 거라고 제가 생각을
So I wanted to use that image against my
그렇다고
opponents.
해서 운영으로서
I wanted to mix up my builds a little bit.
보여준 게 아니기 때문에
And basically play
그 이미지를 충분히 이용할 수 있다고
macro games
믿었고
with aggressive games mixed in.
그걸 오늘 잘 됐던 것 같아요.
네, 그 바퀴를 찌르기
I think I did that effectively today.
생각했다는 생각이 듭니다. 자, 그리고 오늘 저그전 40% 승률 넘은 거 축하드려요.
네, 감사합니다.
자, 오늘
부럽네요.
Yuri said now you're over 40% win rate against Zerg players. So congratulations on that. And he says thank you.
저그전 1세트에서 이 한방 싸움을 통해서 경기 분위기를 뒤집을 수가 있었어요. 사실 감시군주로 이득도 크게 못 받고 꿀광도 상대가 먼저 먹었고 상대가 굉장히
In the first set,
능동적인
your
경쟁을
opponents
보여주셨어요.
took the gold base
어떻게
first.
이긴 것 같으세요?
일단
And you won after the big roach fight.
선수인 지원이가 제가 해봤을 때 저보다 바퀴 움직임이 더 좋은 것 같더라고요.
네.
Yes, he has good micro, especially with his roaches. So I was a little bit intimidated by that initially.
바퀴 싸움을 하게 되면은
네.
그 견제하는 쪽에서
If you do a roach battle in the
한 방에
ZBZ,
밀릴 수 있거든요. 그래서
It's better to be on the defensive
움직임을
side.
놓쳤을 때 할 수 있는 거는
Your
그거밖에
reinforcements
없어요.
come
그래서
earlier.
그 마지막 타이밍 한번
And you can usually get your setup
들어가서
better and try to kill up your opponent's rushes
기회를
better.
잡았던 것 같아요.
이원표 선수니까 그
And I was able to do that in that match. And then take the advantage and win.
세트에서는 굉장히 이원표 선수 움직임이 좋았는데 그런데 결국에 감염증을 확보한 이 한지원 선수가 경기를 끝냈습니다.
So in the second set, you lost the Infestors.
많이 아쉬웠는데 근데
Your mutas were copying the
제가 사실 두
Infestors'
번째
BL.
판에 좀 약간 고민을 했었거든요.
Yeah, I was actually pretty disappointed in the second set.
약간 그런 초기 올 듯 말 듯 해가지고
I was actually
내려가면서
guessing
그냥
if I was
지을까
gonna
하다가 그냥 앞마당을
go for a
지었었는데
fast pull maybe.
내려오는 거 보고 풀 지었으면은 승자도
But instead I decided to build hatch first and then gas first.
잠시 했던 것 같아요.
네, 그래서 화가 나서
And
그랬는지
Biel just won in somewhat of a build order.
승부수를 띄우셨는데 자 그런데 8강전 저그전이에요.
네.
이경규
So
선수와
you're going to play another Zerg of the Round of 8. You're going to be playing against Rogue.
저그전이거든요. 단 2분 남은
네.
저그전인데
So
자신
you are
있으세요?
one of the only 2 Zergs left. Are you confident playing against a Zerg like Rogue?
뭐 승률 40%짜리가 뭐 저거는 다 똑같아요. 이러면은
Look,
정말
I'm only a
한심하게
40%
느끼겠지만
win rate in ZVZ.
저거는 그냥 5대5라고 생각하고 있거든요. 사실
But there is a 50-50
코스
chance.
중에서 이번
If we play a mirror match, anything can happen.
사이가 가장 무서웠는데
And why are you 40% to
8강
win?
가서 그런
I'm actually more scared of Protoss players.
그래도 차라리
And I feel better playing against Zerg in the round of 8 anyways. I much prefer to play against Rogue than Party or
어렵게
Hero.
올라가게 된 만큼 뭐 4강 결승
It's been a really hard road for me so far, so I would really like to advance as far as I possibly can. And ideally advance to the semifinals and the finals for the first time in my career.
자, 이원표 선수 오늘 팬분들 많이 깜짝 놀랐어요. 오늘 이제
I know a
앞으로
lot of fans were surprised by your play today.
팬분들께
Any final comments to the people watching?
제가 이제 분단의 심장에서 이제 참 부끄러운 얘기지만 처음 8강에 가게 돼가지고
In the heart of the swarm, it's my first time
8강으로
to
떨어지고
advance
싶지
to the round of 8.
않거든요.
네.
So I don't want to be eliminated in the round of 8, obviously.
더 열심히 하는 모습 그리고 개인 리그, 프로 리그 뭐 둘 다 좋은 모습
I
보여드리도록
prepared
많이
well for both
노력할
Pro
테니까
League
네.
and the individual league to show some great matches to all the people who support me.
스베누 팀 많이 응원해 주셨으면
Please cheer
좋겠고.
for me as well as my
그리고
team.
오늘 저희 팀에
네.
수호 형님이라고 박수호 선수 생일이거든요.
오.
네, 그래서 제가
It's actually DRG's birthday apparently today.
좋고,
So they wanted to say some congrats to him and say happy birthday.
뭐 선물은 없고요.
이렇게
This is no presents for you,
자신의
though.
기쁨이 넘칠 때 이렇게 다 이렇게 수호 선수를 배려해 주시는 모습 정말 대단합니다. 자, 이원표 선수 오늘 첫 8강 진출 다시 한번 축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
네.
Congratulations, Curious, and he says thank you.
이뤄낸 스베누 김명식
Gotta
선수.
say, you really can feel happy for him.
Yeah.
Seeing him in that moment. A lot of players, not a lot, but there are players who consistently get to the round of 8 or always have expectations to win. Today, Curious came into this saying, if I can make it to today, I might not do my military service yet. I might postpone it a little bit further.
Yeah.
Since my potential's been shown.
He's playing really well, man. And
He did it.
It is doable. He could make a round of 4, and who knows from there? That's like weeks in the future, so he has a lot of time to practice and prepare.
It's kind of cool because being a pro gamer is not always about winning a tournament. Sometimes it's just making it through the day.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He's in the round of 8. Congratulations to him. We will go to a short break now. When we return, our losers match, a best of 3.